Bad habits are easy to crave, but good habits are easy to train. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my 4 easy to follow steps on how to crave habitual exercise. Hi, I'm Dr. Jess, and on this platform, my passion is sharing how exercise benefits every system of your body, gives you longevity, and it can be hard to implement, but it doesn't need to be, and that's why you follow. So make sure to subscribe and see all the new content that comes out each week. All right, let's dive in. If you're struggling to create really good exercise habits, you're not alone. It's hard and it doesn't have to be. So I'm gonna bring you through these 4 steps, and once you're done with this video, you're gonna realize that there's really easy to follow, sustainable steps that you can take starting today that's gonna make every part of that next exercise journey even that much easier. Step 1 is we need to identify the barriers. So why is it hard to implement exercise, whether it's the time of day, it could be the type of exercise you're doing, it could be a financial barrier, it could be knowledge, who knows? But number 1 is to identify what is going on that's getting in the way. And that could be with any habit that you're trying to change. I always suggest sit down and actually write those down. The minute that you write it down, it becomes real. Before that, it's just this thought that's in your head that comes and it goes. And you never really make a full plan for it because you haven't gotten through the entire list of what the barriers are. So what I will say is the most common barriers are typically gonna be knowledge, because you just don't quite know how to do it well. And that's where following more videos on my channel, other channels, really learn about the type of exercise you want to do and what your goals are. Because you might be trying to do a type of exercise that's never really gonna match what you want. So you might be doing something that's way too hard and you're getting injured. It might be something that you just don't enjoy, or it could be something that you're just not yet ready for. So identify the lack of knowledge. Whether it's the time of day, it just never works. You never have time at the end of the day because something comes up. Be real about what the barrier is, and then right next to that barrier, when you write it down, make what your plan is going to be to address the barrier. And if the first plan doesn't work, that's okay. Try another one. That's all part of the learning process. It's never a failure when something doesn't work. That's just an opportunity to learn more about yourself, and you'll continue to grow in your journey of whether it's exercise or anything that you apply this to. Step 2, talking about motivation. So if we don't know why we're doing what we're doing, then we're never fully going to have buy-in to whatever that might be. So understanding again, why am I wanting to exercise? Is it because I want to lose weight? Is it because I want to move better? Is it because I want to live a longer, healthier life? Is it because I want to train for something specific, like I've got a race coming up? Whatever your motivation is, write it down, and again, challenge yourself. Is there more to this motivation? So it could be like a lot of people start with exercise because they want to lose weight, which is great. You know, it's a really good place to start. And there's a lot of other motivating factors for adding exercise into your life. Again, really diving deep into all of the benefits that you get between the cardiovascular training and improved health of your heart and lungs, of your brain, of your joints, your ability to do more with the people around you. You can keep up, you can travel, you can throw your kids up in the air, you can run with your dog, whatever it is that is in your life. All of those are also going to be benefits of exercise. So try to add those as motivators so that that's part of the journey. Because when we have just one thing that's motivating us, and if we don't hit the goal fast enough, sometimes we lose the motivation. And so it could be like training for a half marathon and you're a month into it and it's hard and it's like you're huffing and puffing. The half marathon's like 6 months away. And so it's really easy for that motivation to get lost instead of starting the process of what other motivating factors are there, and keep those in the forefront of your brain. And then that will big time help with being able to like stay forward thinking with how you're moving in that journey that you're on with, in this case, exercise. Step 3 are triggers. So these are going to be areas in your day that you want to think about that you can associate with whatever the new thing is that you're adding. So let's say you're wanting to add running to your morning routine. Well, if you already get up, brush your teeth, do a typical routine, then you can add running into that transition. So right after I do something that I already do every single day, I'm going to add this new pattern right next to that. So we start to identify those together. It takes time for your brain to start to pair them together, but then once you do it enough, it starts becoming normal. So it could be every single day after I eat my lunch, I go for a walk and I start getting those steps in. As you do that, in the beginning, you're associating it with something you already do, and then that becomes its own association and you won't need to use the trigger anymore. But the trigger is what we use in the beginning to get you started. Now, the last one that we're going to talk about is habit formation. So once we get to the point where you've identified your barriers, you've made a plan for your barriers, you've identified your motivation, and you've really challenged yourself to think about all of your motivating factors and not just one, but all of the ones, and you stay true to yourself with that. You've got your triggers in your day that you're going to say, okay, I'm going to associate the exercise with this time of day or this time of week or whatever really works for you so that you can be honest about keeping it consistent. Step 4. A habit means that if you don't do it, you actually feel like something's missing. So this is when the magic sauce happens. So if you miss your training that day and you feel like, oh my gosh, my day's not complete, you've seen the end of the big picture. And so how we do that is by somehow keeping yourself accountable. So that could be you have an accountability partner. That's a really, really good way of doing things. And it doesn't have to be somebody that is right there with you doing the exercise with you, but it could be somebody that you text with, chat with, email with, or is somebody that you are participating with. So accountability partners are great. It could be something where you write it down on your calendar and you have to check it off that you did it. There's a lot of ways that you can hold yourself accountable. I like scheduling, so I put things into my calendar and I know that I have to finish my day. All of the things that are in my calendar, I don't choose what stuff I do, which patients do I see today, which ones don't I. Whatever's in my calendar for the day is what gets completed. And so for me, putting it into my calendar works. Other people like to journal at the end of the day. They do all sorts of gratitude journals or accountability journals, things like that. And so if you know that you are going to want to write it down at the end of the day in your journal, and you're not going to want to write that you didn't do it, that can be another way of holding yourself accountable. So these are just common strategies and techniques, and one might work better for you, one might not. What I will say with an accountability partner, if you choose a person, make sure that person is truly going to be an accountability partner and not somebody that's going to back out with you. So be honest with that choice is my one bit of advice with that. Just remember, retraining your brain to crave the good and not the bad is hard, but I know you can do it. Leave a comment below to let us know what your barriers are.